Hey everybody, this is Mitch Ferraro from F Street. I'm the Investor Relations Manager here. I hope everyone's having a great day out there today. I am here with our VP of Finance, Michelle Ayala. She is one of our most favorite people in the office. I absolutely love Michelle. You can't have a sweeter, nicer person to work with. Michelle takes care of all of our financing needs. And as much as I love her, you, our investors, you're going to love her too. You may know her, you may not know her, but she is the absolute reason why when you open your bank account on the last business day of each month, you see those funds from the private debt fund in your account. So, Michelle, thank you so much for your time today. I really, really appreciate it. You're absolutely awesome. Before we kind of dive in today about how investors get their money back and that just kind of like the process and system that we have to go through to make sure that that happens each month, give us just a little understanding of your background, how you joined F Street, and just what you kind of do on a day-to-day basis here, and then we'll dive into how our investors get their money each and every month.
Sure. Hi, Mitch. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. Um, yes, I'm the VP of Finance up at F Street. I started as the staff accountant 8 years ago, just over 8 years ago,
Yep.
and just slowly transitioned to different roles within the company. I've always been passionate about real estate, and it was like they were paying me to go to school. I was just loved it. I learned so much every day. Still, 8 years later, I still learn a lot.
Yeah.
Um, right now, my role involves managing and overseeing the servicing side of things of the loans and the accounting department.
Yeah.
So everything money.
Yeah,
Everything money.
everything money that's on F Street, and I think it's been great because Michelle and I get to work together almost every day. We're kind of back and forth, whether it's through our Slack channel or face to face. We're right around the corner from each other because at the end of the day, we're always trying to make sure that our investors, at the end of the day, they get that payment the last business day of each month. It's like clockwork. That's what we preach each and every day. And we've been doing it for 16 plus years. So even before you had joined F Street, we've been doing it for a very, very long time. So Michelle, just give me just your day operation. It's the last, it's the day before the last business day of the month. It's crunch time. Give us just a little understanding of what that's like for you to make sure that these investors are getting what they are supposed to get every single month.
Sure. So initially, throughout the month, we get notifications of people putting money into the fund, sometimes taking money out, just changes to people going from cash payouts to compounding. We keep track of all of those transactions. At the end of the month, I myself go through every transaction. Our team has already at that point taken care of the transactions that need to be booked.
Yeah.
But I go through as a second set of eyes and make sure that every transaction that happened throughout the month is taken care of and booked. Once that happens, we upload a whole file to the bank to make sure that everybody gets their payment.
Yep.
That happens the day before the last day of the month. And so that the last day of the month, when the investors open their bank account,
Yeah.
they see their payment in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, it's nice because depending on your bank or who you are banking with, sometimes right when that upload happens, sometimes it's even there a day before or on the last business day. Like we really make sure that it's there and it's ready. And like you said, there's second set of eyes. We're always making sure that the account numbers are correct, the routing numbers are correct, because at the end of the day, that is what keeps us going and keeps your guys' trust and confidence with us, is making sure that you're getting that on the last business day of each month.
We have several sets of eyes on everything all the time.
Yes, absolutely. So Michelle, I know this is like a simple process for us, but I want investors to understand, what it's like when they are requesting money back. So a lot of times investors are directly contacting me and then saying, "Hey Mitch, I want to pull my X amount of dollars out of the private debt fund," because after that 1 year hold, their money is basically liquid. They can pull their money out at any point in time. So I want them to understand, like, what is it like for them? And it's very seamless, but what is it like for you and us to get them their money back from the private debt fund after that 1 year hold?
And we try to make it seamless to the investor, right? That's like the ideal scenario.
Right.
And so once they reach out to us to request their money back, one of us will trigger that notification to the team.
Yeah.
So and so needs or requested their investment back. What I have to do on my end is make sure that we have the funds available, which we do. We just have to move it from account to account. That's not a problem. It takes usually, I like to say, 24 to 48 hours. Sometimes we can do it the same day. And, I've noticed investors love that. They love that sense of urgency that we provide. So once we have the funds where they need to be, again, 24, 48 hours.
Yeah, that's great. And I think too, what's nice is that, once they make that request and we can understand, hey, if we're going to send it back to you within about 1 to 2 business days, does that work for you? We're communicating with them to let them know, this is how we're going to get the money back. We'll also confirm the banking information to make sure that, the bank information that we currently have, that's the same bank that they want those funds to get sent back to it. And what's nice too is up front, when someone makes the initial investment, we get all of that banking information right up front, because obviously we're providing those funds to the bank every single month, unless you're compounding, because then we'll just keep the money in the fund. Right. But we get that banking information up front so that at the time that you want that money back, you can get it back. And if they want to have it sent to a different bank,
we can do that. Absolutely. We will just have to verify that information over the phone. That's a new step that we've implemented because we want to make sure that the funds go to the correct account.
Yeah.
That you meet them in.
Absolutely. So we'll verify that information through a phone call for verbal confirmation. We'll make sure that is where the money is supposed to go. And again, within about 1 to 2 business days, you're receiving that money back. So not only, Michelle, give us an understanding, if Scott, owner and founder Scott Lurie, knows or thinks that we are behind of some sort, what's the urgency seem like from him when he may think that something is behind schedule, if he does even have an indication that payments might be behind?
Oh my God. So sometimes we're not even behind, or Scott, that is since I've been with the company, top priority, we take care of our investors.
Yeah.
Number one priority. So anytime he gets an indication that somebody did not get their payment, or they haven't seen it come through, or he wants us all to jump on the issue and solve it.
Yeah.
Solve it. But you will get on the phone.
Right.
With the bank.
Yeah.
Out of bank, with whoever he needs to get on the phone. It doesn't matter if it's one payment that got delayed, 3 payments. To him, it's like 100 investors didn't get their payment. And it's that important to him. And again, ever since I started with the company, that's been his top priority.
Yeah.
The most important thing that we need to focus on.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool thing about Scott and his involvement in the business is that he is in the business. He makes sure that he leads by example, and he shows a sense of urgency in those situations, which kind of trickles down to everyone within the office. I know I've heard him many times come out of his office and he'll say, Mitch or Michelle, or that there's urgency that needs to happen for whatever Scott needs done. And I do it. And he just doesn't lay something on you. He's going to be a part of the solution as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. He will assist us whatever we need.
Yeah, absolutely. So Scott is a great resource in the business as being the owner and founder. Now, kind of talk about, and I know, again, I want investors to feel like how seamless it is for them, because there is some back office work that we do. It's pretty simple if someone is getting paid every month and they want to switch over to compounding, or it's compounding and they want to switch over to getting paid every month. What does that look like from our perspective, our team perspective, to have someone do that if they want to do that?
Sure. So Once we know that they want to do that, you will send them an email with a DocuSign, I believe it is, right? Um, and once we receive that DocuSign, the document saying that they want to switch to compounding or vice versa, we on our end will make sure that for that month, starting that month, the payment will be compounded at the end of the month. It's a very simple process,
Yeah.
but we do have to have it documented, so they do have to go to through that extra step just to give us that signature so they want to switch.
And now I want to just kind of switch gears a little bit and get a better understanding to our investors. You also work a lot on the hard money side, the side that we are loaning the money out to the borrowers to have them flip homes or have them use the BRRRR strategy to buy a property, fix it up, get it rented out, and refinance. Kind of give us a little bit of a understanding of what the day kind of looks like. I know you're probably all over the place, but give us an understanding of what that looks like, because I feel like you get to see both sides of the F Street private debt fund on the hard money side and on the private debt fund side. So kind of give us a little understanding of what that looks like from your perspective.
Yeah, so the day to day for me and my team is we have to make sure that payments and incoming interest payments are being processed. That are anything servicing related. If they have questions about their account, we handle those. If they're requesting a payout because they want to grab their loan, we process those again 24 to 48 hours. We really sense of urgency in our department. Yeah, the top priority. We repair draws.
Yeah.
From the borrowers. Yeah. They need money for repairs. We make sure they have that. It's just a number of different things. Also managing cash flow, managing our investors' funds, all of those things that happen in the background. My team handles.
Yeah, and I think what investors should understand is that when it seems so seamless for the investors, it's Michelle and her team that are making sure that money on the borrowing side is going out and being paid when construction work is done, when they are supposed to pay their interest payments every month, so that we can pay you your interest payments every month, that money is coming in. A lot of cash flow going back and forth to make sure at the end of the day we can continue to pay our investors on the last business day of every single month.
And all those activities are very important because that's what that engine that drives this private debt fund.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's a big part of, the hard money where people are borrowing that money out. We at any point in time have 500, 600 active loans going on at one time, which is a lot to manage. And Michelle and her team are making sure that money is flowing in and out correctly and to make sure that we can pay you guys every single month. So, Michelle, how big is our accounting team here at F Street?
So we have a couple of accountants. We have a couple of admins. We have our collections manager. Yeah. So he handles all the collections for like passive accounts to make sure that we're collecting those dollars. Yeah. So aside from the accounting department, we work closely with your team, the investor relations department, and all of us together make sure that the operations of the private debt fund, and not just the private debt fund, but the company in general, goes smoother.
Yeah, and I think too, I want to touch on this. So, we're in the lending business and we go through foreclosures and defaults. We have to make sure that we're having collections on those. So before we go into foreclosure, we're trying to get the borrower to pay their money. Like, we have a team and a manager that takes care of those types of things. Yeah. Like, we're not just saying like, hey, you didn't pay your interest payment this month. Like, we have someone get it.
Make fun.
Yeah. Yeah, make it just reiterate to our investors, like, we do have a team that takes care of that part of the business as well.
We have Gerardo. He focuses on as the collections manager. Every day he's hitting the phones, making sure that we are reaching out to those clients who might have fallen behind, or our last resort is foreclosure, where you don't want to go through a foreclosure process with a borrower. They don't want that either. So what Gerardo does is he reaches out to maybe give them some options. Some borrowers don't know that they have options.
Right.
Whether if they were going to flip and that was not a viable option, then maybe they can refinance the property or sell as it is, whatever. So Gerardo does that. We're trying to mitigate losses, mitigate the risk.
Right.
So he's a great part of the team.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, as Michelle said, foreclosure is like the last resort that we want to go through, but we do it. We do about 2 to 3% of our loan portfolio per year that goes through foreclosure. Last year was actually a really great year for us. We were under 2%. And I know even Scott at times gets involved with the borrowers to say, like, hey, how do we get you to the finish line? How do we make sure that we don't have to go through that process with you? Because we're not in the business to foreclose on homes. We're in the business for everyone to be in a win-win situation. And I think that's another great thing that Scott really does to make sure that we exhaust every resource that we have to try to get these borrowers across the finish line. And if they don't, we do have the team that can go through that to make sure that at the end of the day, the investors, your money's being protected. Okay, we make sure that, again, you're getting paid on the last business day of every single loan.
Right. It's all about communication. And if the borrower's not communicating with us, we have to reach out and get through to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So Michelle, we're having a really great year. Last month, we distributed more money than we've ever done in the history of F Street. Give us an understanding of what that kind of looks like.
Yeah, so last month we distributed almost $1 million to investors in interest. So that was very exciting. This month is probably going to be more than that. We are working towards that. So yeah, the more loans we close, the larger amount loans we close, the better. We're constantly working on raising more capital, and we hope and we are working towards having more of these monies.
Yeah, absolutely. Michelle, I want to thank you so much for your time today. I really, really appreciate it. I always get to enjoy talking with you. I love that we get to spend so much time together, working together, because we're making sure that at the end of the day, our investors, our borrowers are being taken care of, because that's what drives this business. And we do a really, really good job of making sure that at the end of the day, people want to work with us and they want to continue to work with us. So
thanks for having me. They're absolutely fun. And yeah, we'll do what we can to make this private debt fund a successful investment for all our investors.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for everyone that's watching. I hope everyone has a great day out there today. And Michelle, thank you again so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Mitch.